Hello, anybody there? Not yet, huh?
There's a produce from Costco.
People bring sweater and stuff just specifically to be able to go in there, get their produce. Okay, I'm going to start on our sponsors in a moment. Again, will make the announcement that on Tuesday morning, we will be relocated. Okay? Let me take one more look at that.
Does the coffee go with it?
I don't know. What's that cocktail?
Yeah, especially if it's a cold day.
The ladies want the coffee.
There's enough coffee for everybody. Is that air conditioning?
No, this stomach could be blowing warm air if our prayers are answered.
That one for me.
Angle,
Yeah.
what happened to our coffee pot? Look over here.
What happened to it?
It's probably somewhere in the building.
No, we should have fresh coffee every day.
Oh, that.
Even though I know somebody who donated.
Okay.
You know what, I would.
Good morning,
I would donate a
Ruvain.
Keurig thing if somebody buys the gods.
Okay, learning sponsors. Year of Learn. Okay, Year of Learning, Sue and Arnie Garlick. In memory of Malka Proman and Philip Mann. Yisrael David Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Beryl Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch. Yosef Meir Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Henry Rivka Prorozna, Bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch. In memory of family murdered in the Holocaust. Harav Tzvi Hirsch Ben Shlomo Yaakov, Sarah Bat Ephraim, Yisrael David Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Ephraim Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Adia Bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Miriam Bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Pesel Bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Shalom Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Shlomo Yaakov Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Shmuel Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch. Sharon and Fred Liska, their family and many friends. In memory of her dear mom, Harriet Friedman, Edelbas Yaakov, Leslie and Gail Kaplan. In memory of their parents, Harry and Marjorie Sedell Irving and Pearl Kaplan. Friends of Avi Gidler, Avram Meir Ben Shimon and Martha Gidler, Charna Bat Yeshaya. Children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren of Toby Paris. Saratova Bat Yisrael Dov in her memory. Friends of Joe Wolf, Yosef Ben Chaim. Charlie Gelfenstein and Sam Levine in memory of Ramona Levine, Rachel Mata Bat Asher. Friends of Nina Moinester, Nechama Asna Bat Yitzchak Aharon. Many friends of Stephen Vigdor, L'zecher Nishmat Simcha Melech Ben Meir Leib Halevi. Friends of Marcy Kurtz in memory of her great niece Leah Bracha. We have a month of learning sponsored by Stanley Presser in memory of his mother-in-law Golda Bat Leber, his mother Leah Bas Yehuda, and his wife Ruchel Mincha Bas Moshe. By Carol and Josh Sanborn in memory of her father, Yoshua Shia Ben Moshe Yehuda HaKohen. By David and Sharon Carpel in memory of his father Zeb Moshe Ben Shlomo Yaakov. By B. Pizer in memory of her mother Razel Bat Shammai. Have a month of learning in honor of Rosalind Greenberg Haskell's special birthday. By Grace and Julius Rosenzweig's children, Barbara Rottenberg, Ann Berezin, Judy Friedman, and Alan Rosenzweig. We have a week of learning by Judy Schiff in memory of her mother, Chaya Chava Bas Menachem Mendel. Today is the 30th. We have a day of learning by Sharon Siegel in memory of her mother, Velya Bas Aaron HaKohen. And that is it. May the Shamas have an aliyah, crank Rafir Velti Yeshua Shema Taliyah, and Machol B'nai Yisrael a good Gaben Shtia.
Amen.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to start off where David left yesterday, which is on Yud Zion Amud Beis. It's about 4 lines from the bottom. Okay. Tanu Rabbanan, exactly. All right. Okay.
Well, I got a wish for myself.
Okay. So the Gemara starts off there, right? We said it was prohibited to do laundry there. According to Rav Chisda, in terms of the cutting hair, was not with a thinning hair with razor, not with scissors, right? So now the bright, new bright. Okay, Tanu Rabbanan. Kashem she'amru asur legalech b'moed. The same way they said it was prohibited to shave on moed, kol moed. Kach asur litol tzipornayim b'moed. Likewise, he's saying it is forbidden to trim one's nails on Chol Hamoed. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. That's the view of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi matir, and Rabbi Yossi permits it. Okay. Ukshem she'amru avel asur legalech b'yamei avlo, and likewise, as they say that a mourner is forbidden to shave during his shaving a haircut, 2 bits. All right. Again, during the mourning period, kach asur litol tzipornayim b'yamei avlo. Likewise, it is forbidden for the mourner to cut nails, okay, during mourning period. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Again, the view of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi matir, says Rabbi Yossi, it's permitted. So we have a sort of a double machloket here, okay, between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi. However, we go on now.
Basically the same like this, whether you're machmir or make.
Okay, right? So Mar Ula says Ula, halacha k'Rabbi Yehuda ba'avel, halacha k'Rabbi Yossi b'moed. Okay, so according to Ula, the law is like Rabbi Yehuda as for the mourner. Okay, that would be prohibited, I'm going to say for the moment, with both. Okay, shaving and haircuts and fingernail or nails clipping. But the law is like Rabbi Yossi on Chol Hamoed. Okay, Shmuel Amar. So now we get to our new Amud. Okay, what does Shmuel say? Halacha Rabbi Yossi b'moed. Right, we're on the right place. Right, the law is like Rabbi Yossi on Chol Hamoed, ube'avel, and on Avelis. Okay, why? De'amar Shmuel. Why? Because the law is like those who are lenient with regards to Avelis. Okay?
Because it's
the Rabbanan.
It's
More
with
than,
the Rabbanan and stuff like the Rabbanan.
okay? Now, we've got a story, and we're going to get quite a few stories in today's Gemara. Okay? Right, Reuven? Okay? Okay. So Pinchas, Harvey, you there too? I hope. Okay. Pinchas Achva Damar Shmuel. Pinchas, the brother, okay, of Mar Shmuel. Okay. Itra Bey Milta. Something happened to him. In other words, a bad thing happened. He had a death in the family. Okay. Al Shmuel Lamish Al Ta'amamine. Okay. I thought the language of the Gemara here was a little interesting in the fact that it's euphemistic. It's euphemistic. Okay. Shmuel went up to ask him the reason. Okay. What does that mean? In other words, he's really becoming to bring tanchumim. He's coming to bring condolences.
That's what Rashi's.
Exactly. But notice the Gemara does not want to come right out and say what the bad thing was, okay, or what he was going to be doing.
And it also
Okay.
has,
All right.
and it also has the implication.
Well, that you're jumping ahead. Hold on. I know what you're going to say. Okay. The implication Michael is leading to is the Gemara is going to discuss the use of the fact of when you say something that could be negative, could it ultimately result in that happening? Okay, that's all I'm going to lead to, and then we'll go into that in more detail as we continue. Okay? So Shmuel went up to find the reason. In other words, to bring Tanchumi. Okay? So what happens? Chazanhu letufrei dahavu nafishin. He saw that his nails were long, sticking up. Okay? Amarle, he said to him, Amai lo shakalt laho, why didn't you remove them or cut them? Okay, Amarle, he said to him, I bedidei hava, if, right, mi mazal zelet be kulihai, okay, in other words, if it had been your loss, if you had lost a member of your family, would you make so much light? Would you make, in other words, wouldn't you be more serious in terms of the mourning practices and therefore not trimmed? In other words, he was following the view of the prohibition to trim during Avela. Okay, right. Amarle, he said, so he says, so what happens? Have kishgaga shiotse milifnei hashali. Okay, and the Gemara now says this was like a mistake that came from the ruler, from the authority. The implication here is when you say something, since Pinchas said something negative to Shmuel, the implication is by saying it, it's as if you're prophesying that that negative thing is going to happen, okay? And calling it into fruition. Okay, right, that's what we're saying.
The king
It's as if the king makes a decree and it comes up. Okay, what happens is, in other words, the implication is the ruler has made a decree, okay, that something should happen to an individual, while he didn't intend the death of the individual. Those under the king carried out thinking that that was the implication, okay, and they put the person to death. Okay, again, Ve'itra Bei Milta B'Shmuel, and a negative thing happened to Shmuel. He also then had a family member pass away. Okay, that's what happened.
Family member, is he responsible? He
No.
died, but he never.
But the implication is because the other guy said something negative towards him, and as if it happened to you, okay? So therefore, the implication, it's a whole, right, it's a whole issue of superstition, okay? And therefore, what happens? It happened to him. It happened to Shmuel because it was as if Shmuel either made light of it or because he didn't, things like that. It's right. So what happens? Al Pinchas achva mish'al tama minei. So Pinchas then went to inquire of Shmuel, in other words, to convey condolences. Okay, shaklinhu letufrei chavitinhu la'ape. Shmuel had cut his nails and he threw it at him. Okay, right. Amarle, he said to him, Lid lach brit kruta l'sfatayim. Okay, so I could translate this a few ways, but he said to him, don't you have that concept, I'm going to say, of something stated, okay, comes out of your mouth? In other words, that idea that when you say something, it's going to happen. Okay, kind of thing. Right? Da'amar Rabbi Yochanan, as Rabbi Yochanan says, Minayan Shabrit Kruta l'sfatayim. How do we know that you can use the word covenant, but a statement, a promise, a declaration that comes from somebody, from their lips, is going to be fulfilled? Okay? Shnei Amar, Vayomer Avraham el Ma'arav, Shavu lechem po im hachamor, va'ani v'hanar ne'elcha ad ko, v'nishtachaveh v'nashuva alechem. Okay? Based on that pasuk that we see in regards to the Akedah, right? That will come back to you. Okay, did they both come back? No.
Yes.
Not ultimately. The two,
He wasn't checked it. He came
All
back.
right, he came back.
But that's not negative.
Okay, in other words, the implication, because he says Nishtachavev and Ashuva, that the two of us will come back, and they did both come back. Okay,
But the difference one thing.
all right, but it's with regards to the Akedah. Okay, but did he really? All right, that's the point. There are those who say, right? So what happens is the Gemara, V'istaye milta dahadur travayu. That seems to have an influence, is one translation, that they both returned. Notice the Gemara doesn't say that they clearly both returned. Okay? Why? Because there is other midrashim that say he did not, that just Avram came back, and the other went to go learn in yeshiva. Okay? Okay, savur mine. So now the question is, so what does it mean in terms of trimming nails? Savur mine, some thought from that, the yad in, the regular low. Okay, from the hand, yes. From a foot, no. Amar Rav Anan, says Rav Anan bar Tachlifa. It says as follows: L'didi mefarshali minei d'Shmuel. For it was explained to me personally by Shmuel, lo shnad diyad v'lo shnad the regular, that there's no difference between nails of the hands and nails of the feet. Amar Rav Chia bar Ashi Amar Rav. He says as follows with a clarification, ubeganustara asur. Okay, one translation has scissors. Okay, all right, for that, others one would basically say nail clippers. Okay, that's the implication. It's forbidden. Amar Rav Shaman bar Abba, says Rav Shaman bar Abba, Hava ka'amina kame the Rabbi Yochanan bar Be Midrasha, Becholo Shamoy. So Rav Shimon bar Abba was saying, I was once standing along with or by or in front of Rabbi Yochanan in the base Midrash on Chol HaMoed, V'shaklinhu l'tufrei b'shine, and he removed his nails with his teeth.
Obviously his fingernails.
Okay, I would hope so.
No, it's a fingernail.
Yes. Come on, you guys, wake up. Come on, you guys. Okay. V'zarakinu, and he threw them down on the floor of the base midrash. Okay, he bit them off
Spit 'em out.
and spit them down. Okay, Shma mina tlat. From this we learn three things. One, Shma mina mutarli told tzipurnayim b'cholo shamoed, that it's permitted to remove one's nails on Chol HaMoed. Second, Ushma mina ein bohem mishum mius. There is nothing repulsive about doing this,
Biting with your nails.
biting with your nails. Well, that depends. Ushma mina mutar lezarkan, and it's permitted to throw them down, okay, in the base midrash. Eini, is that really the case? Asks the Gemara. Vahatanya, but aren't we taught in the Braita? Shlosha dvarim ne'emru b'tzipurnayim. There are three things that were stated in regards to nails. Okay, one, hakovran tzaddik, one who buries them is righteous. Sorfan, one who burns them, chasid, is pious. Zorkan, rasha, and one who throws them is wicked. Tamaman.
What are we?
Okay, well, we'll see. Let's see. Tama, what's the reasoning? Shema ta'avor alehen isham ubra v'tapil. Okay, so maybe a pregnant woman is going to come by,
Step over it.
okay, and walking over those
Scattered nail bit.
nail bits, okay, will have a miscarriage. Isha be midrasha lo shchicha, but a woman in the Beit Midrash is not commonly found. Okay, so the Gemara continues, right? V'chi tema, and if you want to say zimnin de michnashe laho v'shade laho avrai, okay, that perhaps in the base midrash, they would be collected and then tossed outside. Kevan de ishtane, since the place, that's how I understood it, since the place was changed,
Once you move them.
then since the place has changed, they're changed. Okay, they've been moved from one place to another, that whatever influence they might have is not the same. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav, he says. Okay, Zug ba michamatan lefnei Rebbe. This is Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi. Okay, a pair came from the town of Chamatan before Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi. Umar Zutra matne, and Mar Zutra taught it Zug ba michamatan lefnei Rebbe. Okay, and he taught it a little differently.
Well, he says it's a brisa.
Okay,
it's got
just
more
the different.
authority.
Okay, so either way, ubikshu mimenu, and they asked him the following: Shaila, Sipornayim, okay, removing of nails on Cholamoid or Avelis, Vehitir lahem, and he permitted. Ve'im bikshu mimenu safa, and if they asked about trimming one's mustache, okay, hitir lahem, he would permit them. Ushmuel Amar, and Shmuel says, Af bikshu mimenu safa vehitir lahem, even if they had requested from me about trimming a mustache, okay, during Avelus, I would have permitted them. Amar, now, we're going to get a few stories here from the Sofer. Amar Avitol Safra Mishmei de Rav Papa. So Avitol, the scribe, tells us the following in the name of Rav Papa. Safa mizuyat mizavit lazavit, a mustache from one corner, so to speak, or one side to the other. Okay, all right. So that's what it means. Amar Rabbi Ami ubesafa hama'akevet. Right. So Rabbi Ami is clarifying. I'm not saying he's disagreeing. I'm clarifying it. What does that mean? It's when the mustache interferes with the normal eating. Okay. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. L'didi ksafa ha'me'akevet damili. He says, my entire mustache. In other words, it's not just the edges of the mustache at the sides, but the entire mustache, okay, will grow and interfere with for me. Okay, now we go on. Another piece. Va'amar Avitol Safra Mishmei de Rav Papa. Again, Avitol, the scribe in the name of Rav Papa.
The
Right.
Yaakov takes out Papa because the argument is this is not a brisa.
It could be.
So
All
it's
right.
Mitnei Rav.
All right. In any case. Paro Shahaya Bimei Moshe Hu Ama. The height of the Pharaoh at the time of Moshe, he was 1 amma tall. Uzkano amma, and his beard was 1 amma in length. Okay, uparmash tako amma v'zaret, and his male organ, okay, was the length of an amma plus a little bit more.
It means a hair.
Zeret I saw was a span. The span was from a thumb to a finger, a little finger.
It's approximately a half of an hour.
Okay,
In any event,
I don't know if that's half an hour. Okay, all right. L'kayem mashane amar, as was said, ushval anashim yakim alei. Okay. Va'amar avtol safra mishmei de Rav. Again, parosha yabumei Moshe amgushi haya. He was a sorcerer, according to one translation. Okay, Shanamar hine yotze hamayma v'gomer, saying that he would go out to the water, implying that he would use magic and things like that. Okay, new piece in our Gemara. Okay, back to our Mishnah. Ve'elu mechabsin b'moed habam medina sayam. These are the ones who can launder their garments on Chol HaMoed, one who has come from a long sea journey. Okay, Amar Rav Asi, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. In the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Misha ein lo ela chaluk echad. Okay, it says one who only has one tunic. Mutar lechabso b'cholo shel moed. It's permitted for him to wash it on chol moed. Metiv Rav Yirmiyah. And Rav Yirmiyah challenges with the following. It says, Elu in a Braita, Elu mechabsin b'moed. These are the ones that are permitted to launder on chol moed. Habama midinas hayam, one who comes from a sea journey, etc. Hani in. These, yes. Misha ein lo ele chaluk echad, which would seem to imply that even if one only has one garment, all right, lo, he is not permitted to launder the garment. Amarle Rabbi Yaakov the Rabbi Yirmiyah, and so Rabbi Yaakov challenges Rabbi Yirmiyah with the following: I asper alach. I'll explain the text to you. Matniten afagav de eat le trey. Our Mishnah is really talking about a situation where even if he owns two tunics, right? Umitanfe, and one of them becomes clearly very dirty. Okay, let's go on. Shalach Rav Yitzchak bar Yaakov bar Giyuri Mishmei de Rabbi Yochanan. In the name of Rabbi Yochanan, the following message was sent. Kol pishtan, clay pishtan mutar lechabsan b'cholo shel moed. Garments made from linen, he says, which are easily soiled, okay,
easily washed.
Okay, it is permitted to launder them on the intermediate on chol moed. Meitiv Rava challenged it with the following statement: Bitpachot hayadayim, cloths, hand cloths, face cloths, which we would call mitpachot saparim, barber's cloths. Okay, and we go on, right? Hani in these, yes, are permitted. All right, clay pishtan, but garments of linen, lo. That shouldn't be the case. Amar le Abai, and Abai says, matnitin afilu d'sha'armine. Our Mishnah talks about even garments of other varieties. Okay? Amar bar, all right? Right, bar hide, says bar hide, lididi, chazili yama shel Tiberia. Okay, bar hide is saying, I personally saw, okay, when I visited the sea by Tiberia, okay, what did I see? The mafke la mashkili de mane kitna becholo de moada. That I personally saw people carrying out basins, which included garments of linen on chol moed. In other words, they were going to do their wash in the Kinneret, and the Kinneret. Okay, all right. Matkifla Abai, and Abai challenges us by telling us, Man lemelan de beratzon chachamim avdei. Are you really trying to say, or who is saying that they did it willingly, in other words, with the acceptance and permission of the Chazal? Okay, Dilma shelo beratzon chachamim avdei. Perhaps they didn't do it with the permission of the sages.
The Shulchan Aruch says that you're allowed, that the etzem halacha, you are allowed to wash linen, but that Klal Yisrael is no hate.
Right. Matnitin. We get to a new Mishnah. Okay. No, it doesn't seem like that heat went on, huh?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll have to check it. All right.
By the time we leave, it'll get warm.
Yeah. Ve'elu kodvin b'moed. These are the items that a scribe may write on moed, chol moed. Okay. Now, as we go through this list, okay, we're going to see that some of these documents seem to be reasonable. In other words, conceptually for us. Okay. Others, however, are particularly unique. Okay, so Eila Kodvim B'Moed, what documents could they write? Kiddushay Nashim, Okay, does that mean that they can write a tuba? Okay, for women. Okay, or well, we'll see if it's Tanayim, Ketuba, or what. Okay, Vagitten, document of divorce. Vishovrin, receipts. Daitiki, those are wills. Matana, a document of a gift. Uprosbulin, a document of a prosbul. Igrot shum, those are documents of valuation. Okay? Vigrot mazon, those are documents of sustenance. That means that one commits to maintain another person, like a marriage where somebody is going to maintain their stepdaughter and pay for her wedding or other kinds of things. Okay? So those are right. Shtare chalitza, all right, documents of chalitza, right? Umeunin, documents where a woman refuses, a young girl who is married then refuses to remain in the marriage, right? Ushtare berurin, okay, and there we get the documents of arbitration. Ugzerot beit din, the decrees of the Beis Din. Vigrot shorashut, and documents that are by the royal authorities, the ruling authorities. Okay, Gemara, Amar Shmuel says Shmuel as follows: Mutar la'ares isha b'cholo shalmoi. It's permitted to become engaged, okay, with a woman, okay, on cholamoy. Shema yikdamenu acher, lest somebody else jump ahead of it. Okay, lema misayele, and this seems to support, okay, the view. Okay, namely, it says ve'elu kodvin b'moed kiddushay nashim, that our Mishnah said that one could write documents regarding a marriage of a woman. My love, shtari kiddushin mamash. Aren't we talking about really a ksuba? It could be. Isn't that what we're dealing with? Lo, he says, no. Shtar prasikta. We're talking about documents of stipulation, namely the amount of the dowry that's being designated. That's what we're talking about. Ukdarav Gidla Amar Rav, as was said by Rav Gidla in the name of Rav da Amar Rav Gidla Amar Rav. Kama atanoten lebanecha kach v'kach. How much towards the dowry are you saying for your son? And this amount. Kama atanoten lebitcha kach v'kach. And how much are you going to put in for the daughter? So and such amount. Amdu v'kidshu. Okay, they stood up. They made this agreement. Okay, whatever they did. In other words, could be the Tanayim in this case. Kanu, deal done. Okay, hein hadvarim haniknin ba'amira. These things are done and agreed upon verbally. Okay? All right. Lema Messiah. Should we say then that this supports, our Mishnah supports this view? So the Gemara tells us, Ein nosin nashim b'moed. One does not marry on Chol HaMoed. Lo betulot, neither virgins, v'lo amanot, neither widows, v'lo miyabmin. And we don't even do a yibum. Right? Right? For the brother-in-law, deceased brother-in-law's widow. Mipnei shesimcha hi lo. Why? Because there's some joy involved in it. Okay? Ha le'areis shari. But to become engaged, we permit. Lo mebai kamar. We're saying this is in the format of a lo mebai statement. Right? It's not necessary. Namely, lo mebai la'areis de lo ka'avid mitzvah. We're not saying, okay, it's not necessary to simply say to become engaged. Why? Because one is not actually fulfilling a mitzvah. Ella afilu lisa nami de ka'avid mitzvah. But maybe even to marry, because there one is doing a mitzvah, asur. It is forbidden. Tashma, listen to the following Braita. The Tana de Bei Shmuel, as taught in the Academy of Shmuel, Ma'arsin, okay? Haval lo konsin. We become engaged, but we don't
Take her in.
bring her under the wedding canopy. Okay, which would be ultimately implying that bring her to your home and have relations. Right? Right. Exactly, Marvin. Ve'eno sin su'udat erusin. We don't do an engagement party. Velo miyabnin. And we don't, again, do yibum, mipnei shesimcha hi lo. Why? Because it is a joyous occasion. Shma mina. Right? Umi amar Shmuel, shema yikadmenu acher. And did Shmuel really say that maybe somebody else would jump ahead of him, so to speak? V'ha'amar Rav Yehuda amar Shmuel. And didn't Rav Yehuda in the name of Shmuel tell us the following? B'chol yom v'yom bat kol yotzeit v'omeret bat ploni leploni. This is instead of J date. All right, you have a bat kol. Okay, you know what J date is, right? You don't know what J date is? It's a Jewish computerized dating service. It's like Sodom at Sinai. That's another one. Okay?
Because it's a Basco. So it's for them
It's
inside.
Sinai. All right? No, but that's the concept.
I understand, but that one makes a more Jewish statement.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah,
Right. Okay? So,
that's because you maybe the best.
That's- maybe the base dinner has the simcha. I don't
No,
know.
the point is that's a special. No, it's not such a simcha. You have to give her money.
Right.
It's not
Okay.
simcha for him, but simcha for her.
Well, we don't know.
In those days, it's a terrible thing to
Right.
not have a husband.
Right. Okay. So what happens again? Baskol says this one is married to this one. Sadeh ploni leploni. This land is to this one. Ela shema yikdamenu acher b'rachamim. But perhaps somebody will become in advance of him by his praying. Okay? Maybe that's the case. So the Gemara tells us,
So we get this
right?
right, it's great.
Ki ha deraba sham'e lahahu gava. As in the case of Rabbah, who heard a particular person praying, right? Debai rachme, okay, he was praying, va'amar, and he was saying, Tizdamen li planita. I'm praying that this girl will be
Interesting.
my shidduch. Okay? Amarle said to them, and what did Rava tell this guy? Lo tabai rachme hachi. You shouldn't pray for such a thing. Ichazyalach, if she's appropriate,
She was
right?
designated.
Right? If she's appropriate for you, lo azla minach. She won't go away from you. In other words, she'll be available for you to marry. Yeah, she's your bashir. Ve'ilo, right? And if not, kafrat bashem. If not, you'll become so angry with Hashem that you'll become a kofer be'ikar. Okay? Batar hachi. After that, what happens? This is what Rava heard. Again, I'm referring to him. Shame de kamar. He heard the same fellow saying, "Oh, ihi lamut mekama. Oh, ihi tamut mekama. Let me die before her, or she die before
Let me
me."
die before I see her marry the other guy.
Ah, that's not the translation that I had.
That's what it means.
No, that's not the text that I had. Okay. Okay. Amarle. So Rava tells him, Lava minalach lo tabai ala demilta. Didn't I already tell you don't pray about this thing, business? Okay. Hachi amar Rav Mishum Rabbi Ruvain. It's Tarubeli. Okay. All right. So what did Rav Ruvain of Itzrubili say? All right. Min haTorah umin hanaviim umin haktuvim. Sources from the Torah, from the prophets, and from the writings all tell us about this idea of it being from Hashem, that the marriage is bashert, so to speak. Okay? Me Hashem isha laish. That from Hashem, a woman and a man are matched up. Okay, min haTorah, dichtiv. Why? Vayaan Lavan uBetuel v'yamru meHashem yatzah hadavar. Okay, clearly we all know that pasuk, right? That they said it was designated from Hashem when Eliezer gave them the report. Min hanaviim, from the prophets, dichtiv va'aviv v'imo lo yadu kimei Hashem he. Right, the second case.
That's Shimshon.
Right, Shimshon. Min haktuvim, from writings, dichtiv bait v'hon nachalat avot umei Hashem. Okay? Isha misachelet, a wise woman comes again from Hashem. Okay, so now we come back to a new piece. Va'amar Rav mishum Rabbi Ruvain ben Estrabuli. Again a statement. Va'amrela, and others say, v'matnita tana. It was taught in the Mishnah. Amar Rabbi Ruvain ben Estrabuli. What did he say? Ein adam nechshad b'davar ela im kein asahu. A person is not suspected of something unless he may have carried it out. Okay? Ve'im lo asa kulo, and if he didn't carry it out entirely, asa mikzato, he carried it out minimally. Ve'im lo asa mikzato, and if he didn't do it minimally, here belibo la asato, he thought about doing it. Ve'im lo here belibo la asato, and if he didn't consider it, ra'a acherim she'asu v'samach. He saw others do it, okay, and he was happy. Meitiv Rabbi Yaakov, and Rabbi Yaakov responded, namely with the following: V'yakfahu b'nei Yisrael dvarim asher lo kein al Hashem Elohim. All right, that they did certain activities, okay, which were against Hashem. Hatam lahachis hu da'avun. They were done specifically to anger Hashem. Tashma, listen to the following bright. V'kanu leMoshe b'machane li'Aharon kadosh Hashem. Okay, that they were jealous of Moses. All right, in the camp, and right, what happened? Right, Rav Shmuel bar Yitzchak Amar. What did he tell us? Melamed shekol echad kineh leishto Moshe. That each of the men were jealous concerning about the fact that their wives might be spending private time with Moshe. Hatam mishum sinahu da'avud. There, that was done due to hatred towards Moshe. Tashma, listen to the following. Amar Rabbi Yossi, says Rabbi Yossi, Yehei chalki imi shechoshdim oto b'davar ve'ein bo. Rabbi Yossi says, may my portion be with those that are suspected for something, but he did not do it. In other words, he's innocent. All right? Va'amar Rav Papa. And Rav Papa says, L'didi chashdon v'lo havabi. Okay? I was suspected of something and I didn't do it. Okay? Lo kasha. And there's no problem here. Ha bikala de pasik. In one case, we're talking about a rumor that was stopped. Ha bikola de la pasik. And in another case, a rumor that did not stop. Ukala de lo pasik ad kama. And how long do we say that a rumor usually continues? Amar Abaye, Amra li aim. My mother, in other words, his nurse, told him, Dume demata, the local gossip or the language in the town, Yoma upalga, a day and a half. Okay, Vahani mili, delo pasik bene bene, and this is when the rumor didn't stop between one to another. Aval pasik bene bene, right? Right. But if it stopped within that time frame, lit lan ba, then there's nothing to it. V'chi pasak bene bene, and when it stops from one to another, lo amran ela de lo pasak michamat yira. That's a situation when it only stopped because of fear,
You're afraid of
right.
God.
right? Either afraid of him or afraid of other situations. Aval pasak michemat yirah lo. But if it stopped because of fear, no.
So true.
Okay? Velo amran ela delo hadar v'navat. And they only said this if it's possible that the rumor would start up again. Okay? Aval hadar navat, if the rumor started up again, lo, then it's not the case.
Then it is true.
Again, then it implies if the rumor starts again, it could be, there could be veracity to it. Velo amran ela delit le oivim. And this is only when there was a question of there being enemies.
No,
Okay.
he has no enemy.
That the person who about whom the rumor is has no enemies, right? Aval id le oivim, if the person about whom the rumor has enemies, who the afkuha lekula, they were the ones who started the rumors. So we're going to stop there at that Mishnah. Okay.
Hey, Shkeach.
Okay.
So did you hear this terrible?
Okay.
I tell you.
Go ahead, Rabbi. Have a good,
All right.
okay.
Okay.
Have a
Take
good
care.
day.
You too. Have a
a
good
good
day,
day.
guys.
Take care.
careful because you don't want to make a mess. Be careful you don't want to spill it. Don't want to spill. No, don't want to spill. No, you don't want to.
You don't want to sweat it?
I'm gonna keep it.
It's a bit of a chill in the house, but that's okay. I think it'll be fine during the day.
All right. This is the bit down, and then I think.
That's good.
The birds.
Yesterday. Put your sweater on.
Oh, I never. They're doing my shoes.
Okay, fine.
I'm gonna put this in the drawer. And I left the number out there.
Okay. Well, it brings someone with a different experience, a wonderful experience, and it makes it look fairer and thinking on it, just pick the qualified candidate. That's in fact an advancement that we ought to pick a qualified candidate, but a black woman on the board, it would make a difference. I think Trump's was a mistake insofar as it limited and narrowed the president's options. He has a great many diverse candidates to choose from. And I think that one thing to keep in mind is that the Democratic coalition is awfully close on different dimensions. There's such a thing as a black woman's experience. When you look at the four contenders as far as news reports go, these are people with dramatically different experiences, and I think some subtle differences. That's interesting. That's something that I mean, we first Thomas was concerned, and yet we're not. Justice for my work is up to us. The last thing that we got to express that from every detail. And you know what? People are an extraordinary amount of experience and what the American people saw, they saw that, they saw a woman, and that's why she remains one of the most powerful justices. You know, we're going to see how Jim Clyburn thinks somebody else is Jim Clyburn. Because Jim Clyburn, and Donald said during those months, Jim Clyburn saved Joe Biden's backside. Joe Biden is in the White House. That's a political reality. And the question mark is going to be on the next ship on this one. Seven people the police in that
And